138 square meter property.
Saan yun?
Engaño.
Engaño.
Punta Engaño.
And
the other assets, I do not have it in my hand. It's with the trust, the NTD department, Your Honor.
yes,
Chair,
would you like to contribute some information?
Yes, coincidentally, because yung sinasabi yun ni Madam is a personal property daw yung sa Punta Engaño. That's in the trust fund. That's the property of the plan holders, not it's not personal. It's in the trust fund in Land Bank.
How do you say this? Oh, the title. What is the title?
The title, it's in the possession of the trust fund as far as the
It is in the
evidence
trust
concerned.
fund.
Sir, may I
Yes.
interject? It's booked under the trust fund, trust account being held by Land Bank. But up to now, the title has not been transferred yet. It's still under the name of Mr. Celso de Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Right. So
Why
one
don't you put a lien on in the register of deeds?
Yes, Your Honor, that's exactly what we have been doing because of the fact that the title as presented to us is indeed registered in the name of Celso de Los
The
Angeles.
same thing in the case of
Yes, Your Honor.
Alabang, that Alabang property must be registered in the name of the spouses.
Yes, Your Honor. All properties, including motor vehicles, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, it just amazes me that the Securities and Exchange Commission is not even aware that this property is part of the trust fund in Land Bank. We've been investigating this Madam, excuse me. We've been investigating this for so many weeks already. It's so simple to know that it is part of the trust fund.
Your Honor, please, while this may be properties in part of the trust fund, but the fact is these properties that need to be covered by the CDO with this restraint of activities are still registered in the personal capacity. So if it were already in the trustee bank's name, then there would be no use
Which, by the way, Madam General Counsel, brings me back to why they were allowed to sell. Because if they make a representation that the trust fund owns Punta Engaño, when in fact it is still in the name of Celso de Los Angeles, then marupok yung halaga ng trust fund. And if you say na all he had to do was put in 17 million, okay na naman, magbenta na naman, gaano karupok yung trust fund na yan? Samantala, akala ninyo na sa pangalan ng trust fund yung mga asset na yan, sa totoo lang, nasa pangalan pa pala niya. This is, paikot-ikot ho ito eh. Maybe your office does not know what the office of Aquino knows or what the office of Martinez knows or what... You are the Securities and Exchange Commission. I mean, you're the supervisor of all corporate activity. Hindi nyo masasabi left hand, right hand kasi lahat ng mga hands nasa sa inyo. May GIS, may board meeting, may lahat ng submissions, meron kayong kapangyarihan na tingnan ito. Ngayon, dinadahilan ninyo, kasi nasa pangalan pa pala ni Mr. De Los Angeles. So balik tayo sa tanong, di pa paano na masasabi ninyo na okay yung trust fund, supposed to be nasa sa loob ito ng trust fund, hindi naman pala. So,
how much is the value of this house that we're talking about?
It was put in at 25.
25. Oh, so how much is your the calculated value of the trust fund?
Sinola.
350?
Sir, may I answer that? Your Honor, the purchase price of that property was 25 million, but based on the latest appraisal, it was 13.6 million po.
The value now is 13.6
million po.
So,
may loss na po yung
but
trust
even
fund.
even if it's 13 million, that is zero as far as the trust fund is concerned because the trust fund has no title over the property.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you have to reduce the value, the amount of the trust fund to the extent of that 25 million.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm surprised that this character Aquino, who is supervising this, does not know this. Oh, huh? Or Commissioner Martinez, you should have ordered that. Reduce the value of the trust fund. That's not a part of the trust fund.
Your Honor, may I...
Go ahead.
The Punta Engaño property is booked with Land Bank, and the SEC knows
Book,
it.
book. And when you say book,
booked. It's in the trust fund actually. And SEC,
Yeah, but the title-
Yes, sir. SEC knows it that it's still not yet transferred under the name of Land Bank or our trustee bank.
And why? Why is it that that property was acquired by the trust fund for
Yes, Your Honor.
25 million?
Yes, Your Honor.
From whom?
From Mr. Celso de Los
But
Angeles, Your Honor.
this guy did not transfer it to the trust fund.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why? Because he
Ah.
wanted to keep it, because kung lumubog, the title is still mine. You run after me, it will take you years to get it from me because I have the title of the property over the property.
Yes, Your Honor. And during
Oh.
that time, Your Honor,
It's not in a disposable amount for the trust fund.
And apart from all that, if the trust fund bought it from Mr. De Los Angeles, is that what you said?
yes, Your Honor.
That is self-dealing. So, it could very well have been worth only 13 million, pero yung transaction binook sa 25. So, in effect, it was a way to siphon off an extra 12 million from the trust fund. Because
Yes, Your Honor.
dalawa naman lang sila eh. Mr. De Los Angeles, in his personal capacity, owning the property, and the trust fund, Legacy Consolidated Plans, na kontrolado rin ni Mr. De Los
It's
Angeles.
also Mr.
Yes,
De Los
Your Honor.
Angeles. When was the transaction over that property?
That property po was purchased from
Done.
Mr. De Los Angeles year 2005, Your Honor.
2005, and the title remained untransferred.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was there a deed of sale?
As far as I know, sir, yes, there was a deed
Why,
of
why
sale.
did not the trust fund register that in its name?
As far as I know, sir, before the SEC was asking, it was included in the audit, in their audit findings that it was not yet transferred. However, sinasabi po kasi ni Mr. De Los Angeles na meron namang buyer, so parang to evade yung capital gains tax or ano, wag muna nating i-transfer, something like
Mr.
that.
De
sir.
Los Angeles, bakit hindi mo ilinipat yung titulo sa trust fund?
Your Honor, ang aking memory sa transaction na yan ay yan po ay binili ko ho out of yung sarili kong pondo, and then I contributed it to the trust fund nung kulang po ang trust fund balances po. It
No,
was
but
con- it was contributed-
according to your corporate official, the trust fund paid for it.
I don't think that's accurate, Your Honor, but you know the trustee can probably testify
How can
more
you
accurately.
contribute money to the trust fund
If it's still in your name.
without getting something in return? Otherwise, you'll be subject to donors' tax.
Yung ano
Huh?
yun,
And assuming that you donated it, why is it that you did not part with the title to the property?
yung ano po, yung bahay na po yan, when we contributed it to the trust fund,
When you say we, who are we?
ako po.
Oh, don't say we, because you are camouflaging yourself.
Ano kasi ang kulang
You're
po kasi
creating a facade.
ang kulang po kasi ng trust fund at that time, we needed to put in additional
I
contribution.
agree. Okay, kulang. You contributed it. But
you did not, because you didn't transfer.
when you transfer value from your personal to a corporation, may kapalit yan. Otherwise, you will pay donors and donors tax. Yes, sir. You are evading taxes if that's the case. Huh. Ala. And presumptive capital gains. If it's a transaction, if you sold it, you sold it to the trust fund. Why? Why did you not transfer it? If it indeed it was a contribution to help the plant holders, why did you not transfer title?
Yung pag-transfer po doon ng title, it was supposed to be done by the trustee. And,
No. It is supposed to be done by you. You're the owner. You're the title holder. You're the seller. The trustee has nothing to do with that. He's the receiver, mister.